Next, we're going to be going over the dumbbell walking lunge. So like any other lunge, the biggest thing is when we're going through the actual lunge motion or the lunge movement or single leg movement, we're targeting the quads. We're targeting mostly the leg. So when we're going through this, okay, keep the dumbbells down to the sides. Again, always think about keeping those shoulders back and pinched a tiny bit together, right? So don't overforce it, but we just don't want to really arch that low back when we're going through this movement. So dumbbell walking lunge, right? Walking meaning that we're going to be moving every time that we take that lunge step. So as we're getting set up, okay, or as we're going through this actual lunge, right, we're just going to think about keeping that toe up so that way we're not pointing and losing our balance by the time that foot hits. But we're going to take a step out in front of our bodies, okay? And as we're going down to the ground, we'll make sure we just kind of break the hips a tiny bit so that way the chest is over top of that knee and over top of that ankle, okay? From there, as we're going down through a normal lunge, we're going to stand back up and bring that back leg forward. Okay, so it's walking, meaning you're moving forward as you're going through that actual lunge. So, biggest thing to think of too is when we're going through that lunge is when we're going here, we don't want to stand up and then bring that foot forward. As we take our steps, we're actually going to move with that lunge the entire way, okay? So I'm taking that step, I'm bringing the hips, making sure my chest is over top of that ankle, over top of that leg. And then as I go down, I'm going to get as low as I can, that is comfortable for me. And then as I stand back up, I'm bringing that back leg with me and pushing and driving that foot through the ground. So that way it makes it a little bit easier to stand up through that walking lunge, right? We don't want to make it one piece and then the other, right? We don't want to take a step, lunge, stand back up, and then try to move that back foot. Make that movement as fluid as possible. And biggest thing with those two is make sure we're not using that weight to throw ourselves forward, okay? Meaning, if we're going through that lunge, right, it's easy for you to want to maybe swing. So try to keep everything pinched and tucked. So that way when we take that step, we're not swinging those dumbbells to help that back leg forward, okay? Everything should stay pretty solid, just moving the legs. That is the dumbbell walking lunge.